Alright, lock in. Oh, I do need a kiss. That's perfect. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this rifting quest, but I'm gonna try. At the bare minimum, I should be able to get the next gold medal, which is good enough. I don't need to be Omega optimal or anything. No update today? Well, there is an update. There's just no dev live because they're basically locking in for next week's update, because next week is going to be big. But there is an update, yeah. Like in an hour and a half? Yeah, an hour and a half, just about. It's a very short one though. Probably not going to be anything major. Like, this is more of a, you know, regular maintenance more so than a patch. But yeah, next week is going to be the big one. What's next week's update? Well, there's a new dungeon. There's gonna be a major PvP balance patch, as well as several class changes, like core changes. Probably gonna be a couple of UI updates as well. We don't have a ton of information, but yeah, it's gonna be quite big. It's gonna be a big gameplay patch. And I, for one, I'm looking forward to it, for sure. Because there's a lot of stuff in there that we already got hinted at that are things I'm waiting on in terms of the balancing, so... yeah, you're still hoping it's gonna be a good one. Also, the dev live in itself will also probably cover... because there was a... I mean, you may know that there was a live meetup in Korea with the you know, the two fellas we see on stream usually. They met a bunch of players. It was like fucking 600 people or something, and they took the time to collect questions and requests and suggestions for the game, which is the reason why there was no dev live today, because apparently they are sorting them, they're going through them to answer them next stream. So next stream is gonna be an interesting one because of that, for sure. And hello, Kingpin. Also the infamous 36-page document. Hopefully we'll hear about that. And hello, Thrice. Hello, hello. So I need to kill 40 people. That being said, I only need to kill 10 for the next gold medal. So I'll do what I can, but you know. Hope they told them to change the management system. They discussed a bunch of stuff. I did go through some of the highlights on my last stream. Like the last 4 or 5 hour stream I did, I went through it like halfway through. Also the document, like the collection of highlights was posted on my Discord as well. Yeah. Although you might have to scroll up a bit to find it. But it was mostly the stuff you would expect, right? It's a server transfer, cast change, some of the more important like balance things, like the prominence of PvE gear in PvP because of the stats and so on and so forth. The fact that the open world of Aldgard and Verderon are pretty much deserted because of the evolution of systems and all the instant dungeons. The whole stuff about, you know, new content and endgame content getting introduced without getting basically just put into the game without a proper introduction. Like just a bunch of stuff like that. Like it was mostly good questions though, for sure. Like we did find out about a few things, namely the fact that we now know that server transfers are not quite ready yet, but on one half, as we expected, server transfer will likely transfer all of your characters at once instead of just one, which makes sense because the systems are server-based, right? So it makes sense for that to be the case. That's number one, but number two, they are also working on server transfer across faction, which that is interesting. I did not expect that. So you will be able to switch factions as well when that gets implemented. But that is also part of the reason why it's taking more time to come, because there's a lot of difficulties that comes alongside that. They've also confirmed that class change was basically ready, and right now it's more so a discussion of implementation that is taking place, more so than one of development. So we're probably gonna hear about that soon, although it's probably not going to be something that will be available at all time. Like I think they want to be careful with that, because games where you can swap classes on a whim typically end up having very toxic metas. So they do need to be careful with that. But yeah, that is likely to be implemented soon. One season per? I think it should be even less than that personally. I think it should be one every other season. Because if you do one per season, you're gonna... even just that is going to drive a flavor of the month situation. Where people actually class change to follow the meta. You know what I mean? Like, they need to implement it in a way that is not going to hurt people that don't want to necessarily follow the meta. Basically, right? Because otherwise, if you can literally switch once per season, then for every sanctuary group, everyone is just going to switch to the best class for that, for example, right? Or for every single PvP season, everyone's going to switch to the class that performs the best in PvP, you know what I mean? And then you run into the risk of people doing this, and then a balance patch comes, and then people complain that they just switched to the flavor of the month class. Like, it's a fucking headache, really. So it needs to be rare. Like, I believe in Ion 1... like in Ion Classic, I think they were doing it every 4 months. I think. So that was basically the equivalent of every other season for this game, which I think is fair. Like 2 or 3 switches per year, I think is good enough for a game like this. I'm personally of the opinion that it just shouldn't be in the game. I don't think class change should be in the game, personally. But if they're going to do it, then that's probably the better way to go about it. But yeah, I am strongly looking forward to next week. Like, this week is going to be a bit of a nothing sandwich. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to be covering with today's patch note video. Like, it's probably going to be a very short one. Because I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be like minor bug fixes and stuff like that. They're just reserving the big guns for next week. And the length of the maintenance is very, very telling. I don't think we've ever had a maintenance be this short, actually. Come to think of it. Yeah. Link to podcast. I will host the podcast when the stream ends. So basically, I'm gonna be streaming for like an hour and a half. And I'm going to host the channel holding the podcast. So you guys are going to be dropped into it. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's just going to be, it's basically just going to be me and Esselon. Like, we have a list of topics we're going to be discussing. We'll also be discussing stuff with chat. So yeah, there's a lot to cover, including some spicy fresh news. So, you know, that should be fun, if anything. But yeah, considering the fact that I do mean to make more roundtables and stuff like that. It's just that, first of all, I've been kind of hard pressed finding the time to do so and organize it, and also second of all, it is getting increasingly difficult to find English-speaking people that are still playing right now, because most people are just like outright waiting for global, right? So it is difficult to find like active, high-end, endgame English-speaking people that, you know, actually want to partake to these type of things, but you know. So yeah. I'm pretty happy to just get invited to one and not have to deal with the logistics. I'll say as much. Maintenance tonight? Yes, in an hour and 20 minutes, hour 19. It's gonna be 2.5 hours long. It's gonna be a bit of a nothing patch though. Like, don't expect anything big. The big one is going to be next week. Next week will be a major one though. So. Like, we have been waiting for this balance patch for, God, they've been talking about it for like close to a month now. And it's going also to be the first balance patch that will have been handled by their new balancing team. So that is an exciting prospect. I guess it is equally terrorizing as it is exciting, but I, for one, am excited. Surely they didn't fuck it up. What could possibly go wrong, right? I'm gonna go check the island. At least I'm finding people. As long as I'm able to kill 10 people, like, I'll be okay with this. As long as I'm able to get 1 gold medal. Like, I haven't played too much this week. For a multitude of reasons. So I'll be happy to take what I can take. At least next week is, if anything, the fact that next week is not going to be a big patch is going to make it so I'm going to have more time to play the game. So I'll take that. Yeah, right? Yeah. Trust. Look, at the bare minimum, the couple of things we've heard about, I'm actually for. So we'll see how they manage the whole balance as a whole. I'm trying to God help me, yeah. Yo, same. How did you get your skills at level 20? I reached level 45 today, my hair skill is staged 18. The answer is I basically spent almost all of the AP here into stigma shards. Like, I've been slowly grinding away at stigma shards from season 1, that's the thing. I only recently got level 20 on all 5 of them, and I technically still have to finish leveling up Resurrection, and I also want to level up Voice of Doom Root and possibly the new Stigma, which I'm guessing will come on the 22nd if it's a good one. I guess Rip Glad again. I mean, when it comes to Gladiator, like, there's a few adjustments that the class needs. Like, the class is doing great right now, right? But the thing is, the class is not doing good for the right reasons. So hopefully they will strike the right balance. Did 5 skill of playing? Yeah, I just finished doing so as well. I do want to have more versatility though, because I will say I will be that guy. I will be the guy that will switch Stigma mid-fight, depending on the matchup. I will be that guy. I don't care. But I do need the Stigmas to be leveled up to do that. I wonder if people are going to make macro to hot switch Stigmas mid-fight, actually. I mean, technically speaking, you could make a keyboard macro to press on a hotkey that opens up the menu and switches the buttons for you in like 1 second. Like, that is technically possible. I mean, until they prevent you from changing Stigma skills mid-fight, which will likely happen at some point. But yeah, Stigmas are just, you know, they're just part of your progression. Like, you get Stigma shards from running dungeons, from opening cubes, from running Ascension trials, so you get a bunch from that. And then on the side, you just, you weave in buying Stigma shards with your AP, while also balancing your medals and gear purchases. I think they came on another level. You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, it's one of those things where when you're fighting like a Cleric or a Chanter, you're not an immediate threat, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like either of you can really damage the other one in like 2 seconds, like you were fighting a DPS, right? So mid-fight against those classes, like switching into Voice of Doom just to get an edge is... yeah, I've done that in the past a couple of times. I'm not above it. Feel so slow with Gladiator and have 80.5 attack speed with no buff. I mean, that probably has to do with ping, though. At the end of the day, right? It doesn't matter what class you play. Doesn't matter how geared you are. If your ping is shit, so will your DPS. That's just the lay of the land. The threat is Templar Sin. Honestly, I feel more threatened by Gladiator than I do Templar right now. Not in a like winning the match kind of sense, but in a like unsustainable of damage kind of sense, you know what I mean? Because like Templar, like a Juice Templar, I'm not really able to kill it just because I just don't know enough damage. Like, he just out-sustains me. But the Templar is also not really able to kill me either, you know what I mean? Whereas a Gladiator, I'm not really able to effectively kill him because of Life Leech, but he will be able to kill me eventually. So, yeah. Currently playing with a ping of 172. That's so bad. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I have the same ping. Like, I'm hovering between 180 and 200 personally. So I know, and that's why I'm playing Cleric. It is what it is, right? And look, at the end of the day, that's gonna be the main thing that's gonna make us switch over to global, right? Because if we had perfect ping on Korea and Taiwan, why play global? You know what I mean? What? Just to play with a bunch of like people that are gonna bitch about monetization and drop the game in a month? I would much rather play with Koreans. But the ping, you know? I have 180, sad. Yeah. Join the club. Take a seat. Waiting for global release. Aren't we all, brother? Aren't we all? I mean, things are starting to, like, move on the NC-Soft side. So, we are closer than we've ever been to the release, for sure. Honestly, I would expect we will hear about the release date soon-ish. At least hear it mentioned, right? It's not gonna be necessarily coming soon, but we're gonna hear about it. Koreans are not so racist as Taiwan. I don't know about this one, dude. I think this is exposure bias, because there's just way more foreigners that are playing on the Taiwanese servers. So obviously we see a lot more blatant racism, although I'm gonna be honest. On my main, I genuinely never run into the problem, so... But... I can tell you right now that if the Korean servers were as invaded as the Taiwanese ones, the Koreans would 100% be just as racist. Like I can tell you for a fact. Today ping around the 190. Was glad that my DPS rise from 20k to 50, 70k. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But again, ultimately, this is what we signed up for, right? We signed up for that life. We played on the Taiwanese servers knowing full well that that was going to be a problem. And it turned out not to be as big of a problem because the game feels very playable, even at that ping. But, you know, it's when you look at actual numbers that you start to have a panic attack and wonder what is the point of existence. Oh boy, someone put down a kiss. Well, I'm gonna be utilizing that, thank you very much. About a few left and any... Yeah. I mean, ultimately it is playable, right? So... Big wall and lower abyss right now. Yeah, I still haven't finished my rifting quest this week because I haven't been able to play too much, so... Right now I'm just gonna get as much as I can to try and get my gold medals. August and they took someone with lower. I mean, if you play a DPS class, I guess it's a bit different. I mean, again, right, like ultimately this is precisely why I'm playing a support class. Because it is ultimately less of a problem. And hello, Sogius. Get Taiwan players getting upset about foreigners. There's a lot of people that don't even try to communicate. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I get it as well, to some extent, right? Because obviously, I mean, you just gotta put yourself in their shoes, right? Like, imagine if you're playing on your NA or EU server, right? And it gets invaded by, like, I don't know, Russian players, right? And every time you see someone with a Cyrillic name, like a Russian name, right, that joins your group, you know for a fact that they're gonna do half your DPS, right? Always. And that they're gonna be rude and that are going to refuse to communicate with you. Now, if that's the case, I would suspect you would, you know, not necessarily be very happy about that, right? Yeah, I mean, it's Cleric Templar. What am I expected to do, dude? Pretty funny that they would show up when I'm hitting the bots. Do you guys have something to say about that? Anything you want to tell to the class? Well, I mean, I'm mostly wasting my time fighting these people. Like, I'm never gonna be able to do anything. I'm trying to think, is there anything I can do? Not really, right? Yeah. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna run into an Asmo, right? Understandable but excessive sometimes, or borderline xenophobia. I mean, yeah, obviously, right? At the end of the day, racism is never right, but you can't understand why they just kick on site without even asking, right? Sometimes. Find a win stream and buy. Yeah, there's not really any win streams here, though. That's the problem. I mean, I could slowly walk to a ledge or something, right? Like, you know. Also, nice stun on my Defiance, dude. That's a bit of an illegal move, though. I'm powerless. Well, I guess that fixes that. How is one supposed to communicate with Chinese if auto-translate Chinese translation 9 times out of 10? I mean, it's one of those things where when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? Like, ultimately, you can't really be upset at people kicking you if you don't speak their language when you're playing on their server, right? So, if you don't speak Chinese and you have trouble communicating, then yeah, it is what it is. Like, personally, I don't really care. Like, I care more about how the Taiwanese players like play the game, more so than the way they behave towards foreigners. You know what I mean? With the very like win-focused gameplay, like at any cost, like no fun allowed. You know, we have to Zerg, we have to RMT, you know what I mean? Yeah, so can because of ping and make a lot of racism and hate. Yeah, I mean playing as a DPS with high ping, if you're not playing with a community of people, like it's always going to be like a painful experience. All of illusion video, thanks. Yeah, of course. Easier to get into All of Illusion my 3.2k Cleric than my 3.7k Gladiator. I guess it's because they know my DPS will be bad. Yeah, precisely. Like, and ultimately, right, it's why I'm saying that personally I've never really had any problems. Even though, like, it's pretty clear I'm a foreigner. Like, even when I don't really communicate with them, it's like, as long as I do my job, they don't really give a shit. Because I play support, right? So it doesn't matter as much. It is one of those things where, like, I've said this in the past, and I know it's easy for me to say, but I know it's easy for me to say because I've had experience in these, so I knew what to expect going in, right? But if you're gonna be playing on one of those servers, like Korea, Taiwan, or fucking whatever, like Japanese, fucking Indonesian, like I don't care. If you're gonna be playing on a high ping server, like you have to help yourself. Like you have to play something that isn't as impacted by high ping in every single way, right? And 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be a support class. Other people get fame in sanctuary groups when they aren't even trying, yeah. What game is this? This is Ion 2. Are you going to resurrect, brother? You are. You're a winner. Ah, he turned off the PvP flag. Sad day, that is. But yeah, ultimately what's done's done, right? So if you play a DPS class right now, I guess your best bet is to wait for the class change tickets, which should be coming soon, admittedly, right? Or, you know, to try and find other, like a community of people to play with. Because, like, I mean, I can tell you, like, within my sanctuary group, for example, like, there is multiple people that have high ping, you know, and as a result have, you know, lower DPS than you would expect for their gear level. But they just found a pre-made to play in. And that's ultimately, like, the main solution to that, is to be playing with a community of like people that are just like you, or don't care, or don't give a shit. Up to Scion 2 is kind of easier than 9-1. I mean, I guess you would have to be like more precise in what you say, because if you mean in like the, you know, the minute tech in PvP, you know, then yes, obviously, especially because Iron 1's netcode was catastrophic, so even simply just following a target require your full attention, right? But for something like the PvE, for example, like this game's PvE is just leap and bounds better than Iron 1, for example. And if you mean like more so like the systems, then this game is more streamlined for sure, yeah. It's meant to be more like player friendly, I guess, to some extent. Although not all systems, like the Soulbind system is a steaming pile of garbage, and trust me, I will be talking about that on the upcoming podcast. We looted all the other stuff. Oh yeah, for that 100%. Like the game is very forgiving. Main problem for me as a glad is mana stone system with those random stats. The thing with the mana stone system is that, like, the way you have to kind of look at it is you basically want to fish for one specific stat, and as long as you have like one slot that rolls that stat and the rest of the slots are not catastrophically bad, you just keep that, right? Now obviously if you're like, let's say, aiming for like attack and you want all 5 slots to roll attack, then you're gonna be in for a bad time, yeah. What is good DPS for 200k combat power ranger? I would not be able to tell you. The problem is that I don't use DPS meters, specifically because I know for a fact that my DPS is bad because I have high ping, right? So I'm not really locked in. As long as basically while I'm on this server, as long as I'm able to clear the content, like I'm good, you know? What's your opinion about Cleric having to be forced to build full DPS in order to do Nightmare, boss events, corridor, AP farming, Genius farm efficiently? You don't have to build full DPS, you just have to build like any other class, right? Like, the thing with like class building in this game is that it's very homogenized, right? Every class go for the same set of stats in PvP and the same sets of stats in PvE, right? It doesn't matter what class it is. So yeah, Cleric leans into attack and smite and so on and so forth in PvE, just like every other class, right? So I don't really have an opinion on that. If you're asking how I feel about, you know, Cleric having a DPS rotation in this game, even though it's a healer, I will say that that's personally my preferred way to make a healer in the game. Like the whole pure healer thing where you only have healing buttons and you only heal and you just like sit and wait for people to be taking damage was never my thing. Yeah. Like I'm happy with the fact that Cleric is essentially, it's just a DPS with healing capabilities. So this way you're busy doing multiple things, right? Like it just makes the class more interesting because during downtime you have a DPS rotation just like every other class. But then you also have to like take care of spot healing and keeping people alive, while also doing mechanics, which it just makes the game more engaging, in my opinion. Like I genuinely prefer that. But you know, I know some people don't necessarily like that and prefer like the whack-a-mole healer thing, where you're just looking at a screen full of health bars and you're just like clicking health bar to replenish them over and over, right? I get that, but personally that's not my preferred thing. Alright, that's number 3. I mean, I guess I can, specifically for the quest, I can keep killing the same guy, right? Doesn't matter. I mean, granted, he's probably gonna try to kill me with guards, but... And he dodge rolled my he dodge rolled my Chain of Torment, dude. Nice wings though. My flight time is absolutely catastrophic though. I need a minute. Also going to play Cleric as main global, like a lot of my old now. Yeah, Cleric is a fun class. Like they did justice to Cleric in this game. It's just I wish we had more things to do in PvP. I wish we had a route, you know, like stuff like that. Like more tools. We're missing tools in PvP that isn't just healing and pressing DPS buttons, in my opinion. Yeah, I need more disruption, right? Because that was the bread and butter of Cleric and 9-1, right? It was Hallowed Strike, Root, you know what I mean? I would like to see those make a comeback. Initially invested into Torrents and other defensive stats, but then I had to swap because they were pointless. I mean, the thing with the Genius Insights, right? Okay, I'm talking about Genius right now because to me, this pertains more to the Genius. Like, Genius Insights, specific slots roll specific things anyways, right? Like, the defensive slots are going to be defensive, the offensive slots are going to be offensive, right? So, then it's just a matter of, like, whether you're building for PvE or PvP. And now that we have multiple Genius boards, that isn't even a problem anymore. You're just building both separately. And then when it comes to the equipment, from the get-go, you had to separate your PvP gear and your PvE gear, right? And from the get-go, you were rolling more defensive stats in PvP and more offensive stats in PvE, right? So, yeah. But then again, that's just... It's not so much a Cleric thing as it is like an every class thing, basically. Albeit, there's tiny differences between classes, obviously, but you get my point. Okay, well, at least I was able to get the second gold medal. How many am I missing? I'm missing 20. I have 26 minutes left. Maybe I can go back to the forest and see if the belts are still there. I'll set up 2 sets. I mean, it's the same as everything else, right? It's the Genius Insight and it's the numbers up there. And then you tie the Genius with the rest from this menu. It's the same as everything else. Same thing with Pantheon, right? Like, my PvP Pantheon, I'm running Zikil for the defense, and my PvE Pantheon, I'm running Kaisenol for the smite, right? Same thing. As well as, you know, the minute painting, like I'm running more wisdom in PvE, whereas I'm running more life and illusion in PvP, you know how it be. Now with that said, I am considering making a third set, but it's one of those things where it's probably something I'm going to be doing more on global than this region, because I don't know how much longer we're going to be playing on this region, right? But I would like to make an offensive PvP swap, basically, because right now I'm playing defensive with crit res, defense, so on and so forth. Would be nice to have a more offensive switch when my defensive doesn't work, right? That I can switch at a moment's notice, because you can keybind these, by the way. You can keybind these. So having like a swap that is more like accuracy focused, for example, to hit like block targets and evasion targets in situations where crit res doesn't help would be nice. Do you have to roll new stats? Yes, you have to roll new stats on every page. But the XP is shared though, so if you're level 10 on a genus, it's going to be level 10 for all 3 pages. You just have to roll new stats. Scout near below zone, northeast, there's a lot of bots. Yeah, I see what you mean, right? Typically I do like integrate those reasons into my rotation. It's just that basically as time went by, I just min-maxed my like the circle I do to be basically a perfect circle across all of the most likely areas I am to find, where I'm able to find people. And then every now and again I head over to the island, because there's actually like mains spotting on the island that get turned into ghosts. So you get the odd general that is flagged as a bot. I'm not going global and staying with Taiwan. How can I find a static group for Sanctuary? It would be nice to have a proper group with Discord. Well, I'm gonna give you an answer to your question, but I'm gonna give you another answer that you didn't ask for, which is when global comes out, you're better off playing on global if your ping is high in Taiwan, bottom line, and you're not able to speak the language. Because trust me, as bad as global is going to be, because NA players and so on and so forth tend to not really like these games, and they will constantly be bitching and everything. There's going to be more of a sense of community, and you'll have more fun with a lower ping. That being said, if you want to stay on Taiwan and find people to play with here, like, my best recommendation is to learn the language. That's really all there is to it. There will not be a... Okay. So, at best, if you only speak English and you don't want to speak Chinese or Korean or whatever the case may be, your best bet is going to be to find like a Southeast Asian pre-made, because these guys speak English. Like your Singapore, your Malaysia, like all of these people, they play on Taiwan because that is the server they have the smallest amount of ping, but they do speak English. So your best bet is going to be looking for these people. Like look for their Discord, so on and so forth, and try to play on there. And if you have high ping, play your support class. Don't play DPS if you intend on staying on Taiwan with high ping. Such a bummer they did not release global when Taiwan Korea launched. I get my character so much I can imagine redoing everything. You'll be fine. Trust me. Like, the game has only been out for 4 months, right? And global is going to be accelerated, right? So it's going to be even faster. And also, trust me, an MMO release, any MMO, any situation, any scenario is always fun. Like a fresh MMO release is always fun. You're always going to have this honeymoon period that is going to drive your motivation to get started. Also, keep one thing in mind. There is a whole fucking lot of quality of life that was added into the game between the moment when it came out and now, and all of that quality of life will be there from the get-go in global, which means that a lot of the pains and sufferings you went through on Taiwan to gear up your character and farm the different systems and everything, they're not going to exist on global. You're going to be skipping them and going and like getting straight to the good stuff, basically. So with that in mind, global is not going to be nearly as painful. Because I can tell you... Okay, I can tell you that with the Taiwan release, personally, just because of like the lack of knowledge, I wasted at least a month and a half. And then if you add the systematical stuff, like crafting and pets and so on and so forth, that got eased up over time. Like, bro, if I was to start playing on Taiwan today with the current QOL, with my current knowledge, I would reach the point I'm at within a month and a half. Even though the game's been out for 4 months now. If not even less than that, you know what I mean? Might as well stop playing right now if I'm going to play on global. I mean, ultimately do whatever like seems best for you, right? Different people are, you know, different people need different things, right? Me personally, I don't really mind doing it all over again because, bro, on Iron 1, I had to start over on Iron 1 like fucking 50 times. I don't give a shit. Same thing on Final Fantasy 11, same thing like on every other fucking MMO I've played, right? So personally, it's just par for the course for me. I don't really care. Like it's okay. But I know some people are not necessarily the same. So if you've had your fill, if you think that you've collected enough information and right now you're just ready to move on to the definitive version, then obviously, yeah, you can just like drop the act right now. Just like maybe keep watching streams and videos and so on and so forth to like stay informed on what the game is, and then just like play again on global. I haven't filled a single Wise Dragon craft my mold, don't know. Redo my craft, I don't know what will happen. I mean, we don't even know if the crafting system will be the same on global. We don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, bro, within the span of a month, they added the 100% guaranteed craft, and they added up crafting. All of that has happened within the month, right? Like, we don't know where the game is going to be 4 months from now when it comes out in global, you know? So, yeah. Don't stress too much about it. Like, it's just a game at the end of the day, you know? If you want to keep enjoying the game as it is right now, and you want to keep like riding the wave, you can do so. If you want to take a step back, but still keep playing the game casually, just to like, you know, check out the patches, you can do that. If you want to sell your account and just drop the game entirely until global, you can do that. At the end of the day, the decision's yours to make, right? And there's no wrong decision. If they have 100% for all crafts, then it's not worth to reroll. Then it's worth to reroll. Oh, sorry. I heavily misread that. Yeah, I mean, even if they don't, to be honest, just because of what I mentioned earlier, with like the smaller ping and better sense of community and everything, it's gonna be worth to reroll. It's all about the fun factor, right? Consider yourself as a beta tester, don't stress too much about it. Yeah, pretty much. Like, this is just like testing rounds. Like, and this is why I tell people, bro, if you're a foreigner playing this game right now and you intend on playing on global, don't spend money. Like, don't spend money. Like, you're gonna be dropping this character anyways. Now, if you have infinite disposable income, then do whatever the fuck you want, right? But don't do something that would make you feel bound to this character and to this region, because you're gonna be dropping it. Are you going to sell your account? Me personally, I'm going to be keeping it, but I'm going to be keeping it for content reasons, because I would expect that Taiwan and Korea are going to be ahead of global by a few months, but at least a little while until we catch up, right? And just because of that, when there's new content releases and so on and so forth, I want to be able to log into Taiwan to check it out and like make a video about it or something. But if I was not doing content creation in this game, 100% I would fucking sell the account. And I wouldn't even dare say, if you want to sell your account to move on to global in this game, you have to sell it multiple months in advance, because when the global announcement drops and we have a date, the month of the game dropping in global, there's gonna be so many fucking people flooding the market with their account that shit is gonna drop. And thank you for the follow, Zaraki. So yeah, if you intend on doing that, be ahead of the curve would be my recommendation. Play your game and you win, enjoy, no stress. Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, I'm not full sending Taiwan right now. Like, rest assured. Like, there's a reason why I'm not making any of the Horn Dragon craft. I'm not spending any amount of money, not even a cent. Like, I'm not necessarily like tryharding the ranks or anything, because I know for a fact I'm gonna drop this region eventually. So I'm playing enough to be competitive in both PvE and PvP, you know? but I'm not like pushing my limits and losing sleep over it. If anything, I'm probably spending more time doing content creation for this game than I am actually playing it as of late. If you sell your account, why would you sell it? Which website? I have no fucking idea, because I never RMT, right? I think people use G2G to buy Kina. Maybe they also have like account selling services. I have no idea. That is a question better suited for like someone else. I hope new management on Global will make meeting with players in Korea. I have a hunch it's going to be the case, because based on the people they have recruited to NCA and NC West in general, like some of them came from Throne and Liberty, for example, and like these people were talking to the players. Like they even had like creator roundtables where they were like discussing with content creators. So I would guess that yes, the feedback from Global will be taken into consideration. Any news about Global? We don't really have news about Global in terms of like the release date and everything, so the educated guess is still around September. The only batch of fresh news we have about Global is that NCSoft poached people from AGS recently. And like if you played Throne and Liberty, Tico just got poached by NCA, and he's the product director. He's the product director for NCA now. So Tico is going to be the face of Iron 2 in the West. Thanks for replies and answer. Yeah, of course, I'm here for that. Tico talks in Iron 2 NA? Probably, yeah. I mean, considering he's going to be product director, maybe he's not going to be the one doing the live streams, but maybe. Who knows? I saw Tico in your position, yeah. It is just, okay. I will say, and I know this is going to sound incredibly petty, I will say that if anything, with the content creation side of things for me, I now have a new goal, which is I want to make it into a roundtable with Tico, dude. I want to be able to push this far enough to talk to Tico. That would be so funny. Oh god, that would be so funny. Like, coming from Throne and Liberty, if I can get to that position, that would be very fucking funny to me. He will also be the face of Europe. I mean, he's the head of like NCA, but I'm guessing NC West in general will be managed by like one entity, right? It basically like it's the same as the way AGS was handled, right? So Tico was just the guy for the West in general. You know what I mean? I mean, well, who knows? Maybe they'll have someone different for Europe. I have no idea. Honestly, like as of right now, I know that they've been filling space in NCA. I haven't heard anything about NCEU, so I'm guessing it's all going to be centralized in NA. Why not gather people and streamer passion players for open roundtable and discuss all problems and way solution? Yeah. I mean, that's basically what they were doing in Throne and Liberty, right? So if they do it in Iron 2, I'll be content with that, personally. It's just that the main thing is we need the right people to get invited to those, right? And I've been saying this since day one of this stream. Like, I don't have the pretension to be like the best content creator or anything. It's just that I moved forward with content creation in this game because I was disappointed with the state of content creation in the West for this game. And that's why I started doing what I'm doing, right? And I just want, as someone who played Iron 1 since 2009 and that has been playing MMOs for 23 years, right? And that I do consider myself as like fairly reasonable with my takes, right? I'm not a black and white guy. I want to put myself in a position where if this game comes to the West and it does well and they actually want to like talk to creators and shit like that, I want to be in the position to do that just so we don't only have fucking tourists talking with these people, you know what I mean? Like, just so we don't have people that, you know, play MMOs for 2 weeks and then drop them, get invited to those type of things, right? Like, have someone who actually plays the game. And like, that's ultimately, that's my end goal. It may sound pretentious, but it is ultimately my end goal with this, because I care about Ion as a franchise. I care about Ion 2 immensely. I want the game to do well, right? And even if it's just on my own personal level, which may not be much, like I want to like put my stone to the edifice, you know what I mean? If we have Tico Talk, I will give a kiss to everyone here. I think we might. Canon maybe a voice for the rest of the content creation. The thing with Canon is that I have no shits to him or anything. I don't have any problem with him. I don't have like beef with the guy or anything. But Canon is a MMO content creator. Like Canon is a MMO tourist, basically, where he plays a game for like 2 weeks and then he drops it and move on to the next game because basically that's his business, right? You know what I mean? Like streaming is a business to him and he does what he has to do to grow as a streamer, which is fair enough, right? But I would not necessarily want to have someone like Canon be the face of Iron 2 because I know for a fact that he's not going to be playing this game as much as, you know, many other people. Well, Welps too. Yeah, Welps is a real one for sure. Well, Welps is a guy who's here to play video games. You know what I mean? Like we love Welps here. This is a Welps household. Are you on Taiwan? Yes, I'm on Taiwan. You can exclamation mark server. On global, one Southeast Asian player on Singapore and drop Taiwan. I think most are going to stick to Taiwan because the thing is, right, Southeast Asian players have like around 40 to 60 ping to Taiwan, right? And they have already invested into the game. So they don't really have much of a reason to drop the game to play like a dedicated Southeast Asian server or Chinese server. You know what I mean? Also, typically speaking, Southeast Asian, like most of Southeast Asia can speak Chinese, right? So they're able to communicate with Taiwanese people as well. So yeah, which is why I was saying earlier that if you want to stick on Taiwan as a English speaking player, your best bet is probably to get close to the Southeast Asian communities because they do speak English. He enjoys the game. Welps? Yeah, Welps probably has been playing the game more than I am. Because I've been stuck like making guides and shit so much, you know what I mean? Alright, 8 minutes left. I guess I'll go back to the island. Yeah, I mean I had a good run. I got 1 medal, right? So yeah, I'm definitely not finishing this. It is what it is. And yeah, just as a quick reminder, guy, if you just got here, this is just a very short stream. The maintenance is gonna start in like 40 minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes. And when the maintenance starts, I'm going to be hosting Asalon, and I'm going to be participating to a talk show where we're going to be discussing the game, the evolution of the game, the state of the game, so on, so on and so forth. So I will be hosting his channel when the maintenance begins, and I hope you guys will be here. We'll also be taking like also be the like discussion points with chat and so on and so forth. So it should be fun. It should be fun. You might have someone talk? Yes, yes, correct. Oh, and by the way, if you are a sub of the channel, I am slowly doing a pass over my emotes. So there's 2 new emotes that I added yesterday during my day off. Make sure to never use them. I heard Templar sucks in PvE. Is this true? I only employ playing as a main for PvE. Templar is phenomenal in PvE. I don't know who told you that it sucks, but Templar is deadass fucking insane in PvE. It has the group utility, it has the mitigation, it has the good DPS, it has the tanking utility. Templar might as well be one of the best class in PvE, to be honest. Yeah. Now with that said, if you're playing with high ping, Templar is still good, you know, like comparatively to some other classes with high ping, but it's not the most enjoyable to play with really high ping. Obviously, like being a melee and being very like high intensity on like button spamming and everything with weaving and judgment spam and so on and so forth. But you know, that can be said of basically every class in the game. But like in a vacuum, Templar is really good in PvE now. Like if someone told you that Templar is bad, like they are completely out of their mind. Is about a problem, or we should leave it okay because unlike the present mod spots. Spots on Taiwan are a problem because it's so fucking easy to sign up on Taiwan, right? And also, I'm pretty sure the Taiwanese moderation is centralized in Korea as well. And obviously, in Korea, they are prioritizing the Korean side of things. So, I wouldn't say that Taiwan is like abandoned, but obviously like the bots are getting created faster than they're able to ban them, for sure. That is 100%. They're never gonna win that battle. Do you have any stigma guide for EM? Oh, for M, I guess. Templar? Not really, no, because I don't really play Templar. Like I have a Templar ult, right? But no, I don't really play Templar. Bro's botting as a 3-star officer with PvP flag on. That is crazy. But I mean, broadly speaking, like you're gonna be using the stigmas that you expect. Doom Shield is basically a permanent addition now, because it opens up a window for judgment. And then for the rest, Taunt is really good, both in PvE and PvP. Zikil's Shield is good. Noble Armor is good. Chain Hook, I think it's called, like the triple pull, like for trash pulls, it's pretty good. Like it depends on like what you're doing. Like the stigmas you run depends on what you're doing. Arthur's also a good shit. Yeah. I mean, I play with Arthurs in this game. Although Arthurs as a person isn't necessarily someone who is trying to be a content creator. Arthurs is just here to play video games, and if people happen to want to watch him and give him money, he's gonna take it. But he's mainly here just to play the game. That's who he is as a person, right? So I don't think he's ever going to try to like make it into Tico Talk, for example. Like I don't think he cares too much. Do you have any ideas how to fix it? Because my idea is to implement more often capture checks. Ultimately, it can't be fixed. The only way to fix a bot problem in a free-to-play MMO where it's this easy to make an account is to fundamentally make farming from non-hardcore endgame sources worthless. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to kill botting, which means killing abyss farming, killing open world farming, killing dungeon farming. That's the only way, and that's the reason why they've been making these less and less profitable as an attempt to not necessarily fully solve the bot problem, but at least quell it a bit. So I don't think there is an actual solution without fundamentally changing the direction of the game now. Did you join any legion or not? I'm by myself now. Like, I have my own solo legion just to buy the boat. Like, I'm paying for the boat for myself. We'll stay online on YouTube for the discussion you get into later. I'm gonna be hosting his channel, so I'm gonna be offline on my channel. Like you're gonna have to go over to his channel. Now, with that said, if you don't want to miss it, either come to Twitch now, and I'm gonna be hosting his channel, so this way you will get automatically moved over to this channel, or I'm gonna be posting a link on my Discord. So if you haven't joined my Discord yet, and you want to be aware of like all of my whereabouts, including this, you can !mod Discord and just join it. And I will drop the link here. Because yeah, the show is not happening on my channel, it's on his. I didn't understand why they went so hard against ult when bots doesn't even do T3 dungeons. There is some that do, right? But ultimately, even for the T3 stuff, like they have mentioned that they are willing to reverse the Kina change for T3. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. when it comes to farming Kina on your ult, whether it's bound Kina or tradable Kina, it doesn't fucking matter. Because ultimately, you can move your piece of gear on your ult and enhance your piece of gear on your ult using the bound Kina. So it doesn't change anything for you. You know what I mean? It has... The fact that it is bound Kina has no bearing on your progression, even if you play ults to progress your main. Because you can just use that shit for enhancement, and the majority of your Kina is going towards enhancement to begin with. It's up to Asylon as well. I mean, that's good. Like, Asylon's a good guy. Asylon's a good guy. And he's gonna be one of the guys who's gonna be sticking around all the way throughout for global and everything. And he's also someone who played Iron 1, right? Bound Kina can be used to buy materials from market, which helps to craft PvE gear. So I don't disagree with that, but it's just a matter of the amount of like tradable Kina versus bound Kina that you get, right? And if you just look at the stuff you get from your ult, even if you could only use the Kina from your ult to enhance, like the balance would be good enough, right? And then on the flip side of that, I would argue that if you're someone who cares about the Kina being bound, it probably means that you're not a whale. And if you're not a whale, you're not someone who is buying excessive amounts of mats to craft Horn Dragon gear. Which means that inherently you probably don't give a shit. Because if you're going to be crafting anything, the majority of your mats will be coming from the bound mats from dungeons and sugar games and so on and so forth. And the reason why I know that is because that's my case. And I've crafted fucking everything, right? All of the accessories, weapon guards and everything by myself using bound mats. So, you know. Now, I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm just saying that people are kind of losing their mind over the bound Kina thing when, as a player, it's just a minor inconvenience, in my opinion. Can I upgrade craft on main for my ult as well, like 60-70? Yeah. Like, that's always going to be used for bound Kina anyways. Now, I guess the only thing I could argue is it would be nice if bound Kina could be moved in the server warehouse. So this way you can just move it to your main and not have to move your shit around to enhance. But that would be more sort of a convenience thing, to be honest. I kind of feel like... yes. Well, I guess UCL is zerging already. Okay, I feel like most people lost the way to keep up with whales. You are keeping up with whales. Here's the thing, right? Okay, and look, this is probably going to be a topic that's going to be brought up with Asylon, but just long story short, when it comes to PvE, the existence of whales has no bearing to your enjoyment of the game. Because the fact that a random Korean guy is able to pay a bit of money to clear a dungeon a bit easier than you doesn't fucking matter. Because I can tell you that there are people who don't even pay for the sub and they were able to clear the latest 8-mine raid before some whales did. You know what I mean? So ultimately, as long as the PvE content is accessible enough to not be completely gated to whales, it doesn't fucking matter. And then on the side of PvP, yes, crafted weapons, guard, chest piece, and legs matter, but number one, they have already said that they are looking into fixing that problem, but they're just being careful about it. But most importantly, number two, I can tell you that if you're struggling in PvP right now, it has less to do with that and more to do with your ping and the wackiness of the balance. I can 100% guarantee you that. So, therefore, I think people are using the whole whale stuff as a bit of a crutch. It's not... It is in the game. It is in every MMO, in fact. But it genuinely doesn't have as big of a bearing. Like, you're not behind, you know what I mean? You're gonna be able to compete just fine if you actually try to compete, even if you don't pay. Especially with the way the game is evolving. I've had people that are waiting on global lose their mind over needing a sub to access the marketplace when an average player don't even need the marketplace to progress. What is really funny to me is that this is an MMO in big 2026 that is really high quality, has very frequent updates, right? that allows you to play the entirety of it, and I mean all of it, right? I mean actually all of it, right? All the storyline, all of the endgame PvE, all of the endgame PvP, you can do all of it. You can do Siege. The game is not gated in any way, shape, or form, right? Without paying for anything. It's not even a trial. It's not even like a free trial. It's just, you can just fucking do that. You know what I mean? And people are finding a way to bitch about this. Bro, you can't even fucking play Final Fantasy 14 without forking out $60 and then paying a monthly sub. Same for WoW. You can't play Guild Wars 2 without forking $100 on expansions. Same for fucking Elder Scroll. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, be reasonable. What do you mean? Would you recommend exchanging Looter Bracelet, the new Faded Bracelet? I would not recommend investing into Looter Bracelet right now, no. Like, unless you have the expendable income, don't invest into Looter. Because if you invest into Looter, it probably means that you're transferring from your Abyssal Bracelet, and you're just wasting transfer mat. Like, just stick with your Gold Bracelet, wait until Corroded, or wait until they give the damage boost to Looter Bracelets. Or we'll be able to craft a more Waste Dragon bow, because I mean, like my... I mean, if you run ults, it's not that bad. Make Kina server Kina? Yeah. Honestly, that would probably be the better solution. And hello, Yusuf. I might press dodge roll, but... Ping be ping, you know? I mean, this guy's actually doing damage, though. I'll say that. Although, considering the amount of damage he's taking, he's probably a glass cannon build, yeah. I had to guess. There's someone else coming towards me, though. Is he blocking me, or did he just like dodge roll? Oh, there it is. And I'm anti-healed. Alright, excellent. Why are they always the ones getting help? Why is it not me? Yeah, I mean, Cleric Crescenta is not happening. Should give damage boost to Looter. Right now Looter is kind of useless. Yeah. And like, if they do, then yeah, sure, invest into the Looter Bracelet. Because then the difference between Looter and Corroded is not that big. But... yeah, like... The current state of Looter Bracelet I would not touch with a 10-foot pole. In fact, I have a Looter Bracelet in storage, and I'm not bothering with that shit. My guess score is currently more than 3k going to... I mean, if you're like starting out, like that's normal. Well, you have a Cleric behind you. I already know that based on your buff. But you know, I'll give it an honest attempt until he shows up. Well, guess not. Enter Cleric. Okay, that's a full-ass group with triple support. Let me not interact with that, actually. Problem is I'm not accepted into any way to upgrade my gear, like Dramata Sanctuary. How should I improve them? Make your own groups? I can tell you right now, I have ults that are 3k with like 120 combat power. I just make my own groups. Yeah. I just make my own groups and people join because they're too lazy to make their own groups. You know what I mean? Like that is ultimately the best solution. Yeah. Yes, an evasion ranger. Great. That is precisely what I was looking for. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty early today, right? So it's still like a huge, just you still presence in the abyss for now, unfortunately. Oh, he's in zone. One. Right. And you, my friend, are in evasion. which is cringe and not based. Hello, Diesel. I never think I would progress this far with my character and not progressing so much by just playing. Now it's hard to turn back. I mean, yeah, like, at the end of the day, if you're playing this game, you're just kind of naturally progressing because the game is fun. And the only advice I could give you is just focus on having fun until Global comes out. Like, don't stress about it. But do realize that when Global inevitably comes out, you're probably going to be playing it. And if mentally you can't take it, you can't take the fact that you're working right now on a character that you will eventually drop, then just drop the game and just stick to watching streams and videos until Global release, you know? I see your DM thrice. I'll answer you after stream. Well, not necessarily after stream, after the podcast. And I guess at the end of the podcast, I'm gonna have to do the passion video, so tomorrow. I guess. Yes, Life Leech, my favorite game mechanic of all time. Well, his stingray is down, so there you go. Take some time to know that? Yeah, no worries. What class would you play on Global? Undecided. I will play what seems like the best solution at the time. Yeah. It's gonna depend on, like, if I'm playing with other people, it's gonna depend on the state of the game, on the balance, so on and so forth. I am inching towards Templar right now, though. Yeah, like, Templar is probably the one I'm looking at now. Love your content? Thank you. I try. If there's anything you need me to know about my request, feel free to text me. Yeah. Will do. I was going far, managed to hit Army 1 star. I haven't been able to play the game at all since the last time I streamed. Because I spent yesterday preparing some stuff, as well as making emotes. Which, by the way, check them out. I added 2 new emotes, made with care and love, and everything in between. Yes. 2 evasion targets hitting me. That's like my sleep paralysis demon, dude. Game gonna change a lot by release? Yes, 100% it will. I mean, it already has so much, right? Like, it's only getting started. Well, I do find myself to be stuck in quite the predicament. Getting hit by 3 evasion targets now. It's a bit rough. Let me try to kill this rank 1 before I die. Because I will die, rest assured. There we go. Worth it. Yeah, I can't hit you, can I? Yeah, no, not really. I mean, at least you're not really doing too much damage to me. That's the good part. Okay, well, Shadow Clone is back up, so now you will. I'm able to hit you a bit now. Nice. This is going surprisingly well, actually. How do you feel about PvP compared to Iron 1? Well, as you can see, I'm having a grand old time getting my Boosie Plow by 3 leather classes, so clearly it's going great. But yeah, more seriously though, the game has been steadily getting better in PvP. Like, it's not, and again, if you look at the, you will hear more of my thoughts about this if you watch the podcast that's gonna follow. Long story short, it is night and fucking day compared to how the PvP was on release, and it's only going to get better. It has only been getting better, and it's only going to get better. There's still a decent amount of problems they need to address, but I am confident they will. Because I have seen what they've done so far, and you can't look at what they've done so far and be like, oh my god, man, the PvP is never gonna get better. Like, brother, have you seen how the PvP was on release? Like, hello? Ah, yes. Steel. Oh yeah, that's kind of where I'm standing in regards to PvP in this game right now. Brother, let me look at my chat. I don't have... I don't have my Defiance, I don't have a status effect scroll either. Well, I do have a Elementalist plowing his ass though. For how far along? And he's dead. Alright. Well, that was fun while it lasted. I'm not really doing too much damage to this guy, unfortunately. Oh, he's paralyzed. I'm gonna utilize that time. Really? Are you gonna jump off? Brother. Some people, man. Why do you even PvP if you're gonna do that, honestly? Just dropping as of right now, even with Noble Dragon gear linkage by time and feel like I hit a wall. Yeah, I mean, as I said, right? You can just like cut your losses, sell your account, and just play when global releases. Like, just do whatever feels right. Just don't stress over it. This is a game, right? Imagine wasting time on time for no reason instead of do something that makes sense. Such as what? Judge Dredd. Is it really wasting time if you're having fun though? Like, is it? And like, what is something that makes sense to you? Playing League? I don't know, man. You have to remove PvE gear from PvP ASAP. I mean, they have discussed that they're looking into solutions for it. It's just that they have to be careful with it. Just play and enjoy until release. Yeah, that's my angle personally. Like, I'm not like full sending like too hard until then. I'm just doing just enough to enjoy the content and to be able to provide you guys with entertainment and information. That is my goal here. Let's feed together at League of Legends. Hell yeah, brother. Yo, is this the moment where I'm supposed to tell you guys that I've never played League? That's probably the reason why I'm still sane. Yeah, that might be why. Well, I mean, in spite of the Zergs, I'm still able to like make decent progress. Like, again, I'm not gonna be 1-star officer like today, but as long as I can hit it next week and be able to like start buying medals next week, I'm fine. Like, again, I'm not trying to like min-max or anything. That is okay. We need a Dredgen, Gold Chaos Arena, PvP Arena with stages. I mean, in general, like, we already have a bunch of Battlegrounds and Arena content that needs more love when it comes to rewards. It would be nice. They did make a bit of a move with Battlegrounds already, right? Like, Battlegrounds are actually worth doing right now. Genuinely, I don't know what it is with these people and the terrible fucking escape routes. I don't know what it is, man. Like, what was the plan here? I don't get it. But yeah, Battlegrounds are a bit more worth to do now. They need to do the same thing for like every piece of PvP content, basically. Except even more than that. Like, we need the asphalt boards, we need the PvP mana stones. We need like sources to like a way to farm arcanas without doing PvP, you know what I mean? Like, we need those. Played League of Legends for 5 years to cover the gap for mine one. My condolences, dude. I hope you were able to emotionally recover from that. Did Battlegrounds was so fast to get 3 wins? Yeah. I think they should increase it to at least 7. I think 3 is like too little. It goes so fast. Can make a siege with lords or fighting around the Lordo. I think we might, like, you're basically talking about a proper castle siege, right? I do think this is eventually going to come. When they eventually release like Divine Fortress and stuff like that, I think these will be castle sieges. I just think they don't want to take the Iron One approach where there's like 50 different castles at the same time, right? SMH. Actually surprised I was able to queue after my 3 wins. Yeah, you can still queue. But then again, to what end, right? Back to the killlist you go, I guess. Like, this specifically is one of the reasons why I'm tempted to, like, socket root sometime, man. I swear to God. What's the point of jumping? I tell myself the same thing, brother. It's like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose 20 ranking points. Yeah, okay. You're wasting more time jumping up than you are just dying and resurrecting, you know? But, you know, whatever. You do you, brother. You do you. I mean, look, ultimately people were doing the same shit in 9.1, right? Like, after the glory point update, you were not losing anything from dying to PvP. You were literally not losing anything from dying in PvP after the update, right? And yet, like, all the same, people were running away, jumping off of cliffs, so on and so forth, right? It's just a behavior thing. Like, people are just, you know, they just don't want to lose, you know? It's a, if you die in the game, you die in real life type shit. Ah, yes. I'm not gonna be able to do anything about that, I don't think. Also, my defiance is off. And I'm seal covered. I'm fucked, aren't I? Oh, yeah. Do you spell LOP on clerics? I was not familiar with your game. You're banned. Oh, you mean like the, whatchamacallit? The Veil and, what's the name of it? Mysterious. The Veil and Mysterious fights back in 4.7 were like that. Yeah. In Acheron. I mean, I guess it was also a thing in Classic in 2.7. Yeah. I'll definitely jump off the platform if people try to jump me after getting out of the Abyss Corridor. Yeah, I mean, ultimately you do whatever, right? I mean, I also jump on occasion if I'm getting zugged by people, but for the most part, I just don't care enough. Even though, like, I'm rank 1 right now, right? So I do lose a bit of points, obviously, but I just don't care enough to jump. It's not fun, right? Man, don't steal my ranking points. That's my dude. Cleric buff? Do you have a cleric with you, gentlemen? Oh, are you just happy to see me? Oh, I think a cleric's coming. Yep, he got salvation. That could be problematic, potentially. Yeah, that's mildly... Oh, well, I'm paralyzed. Alright, well. Jewel blocks. Yeah, some people do that. Although this guy had an actual cleric. Turns out. But hey, hopefully with the patch on the 22nd, the damage boost on AOP should go away, and the whole dual box Cleric to put LP on yourself hopefully will cease to exist. Hopefully, that is my hope at least. That was such a fight type on custom. Yeah. I mean, Iron 1 private servers went crazy with the game modes. You know, sometimes I look back and I miss not Ion, man. I miss just being able to log into a PvP server and just fuck around in BGs and shit, you know what I mean? No, don't pull me, why? You will pay dearly for this. Actually, I don't do damage for you. I don't do damage to you, so maybe I will be the one paying for this. Although, he's not doing that much damage. Like, considering he has Zickel's on, like, this is not a huge amount of damage. Like, I've seen... Oh, well, now this is a problem, though. This is quite the predicament. I am not able to damage this guy. Which means he will eventually get the better of me with CCs. And he is now officially doing damage, by the way. For anybody wondering, this guy is actually doing damage now, so you know. Yeah, I'm not really able to do damage to this guy. Yeah, I'm not getting held by anybody, am I? I don't think I am. Yeah, I mean, this guy's life leech is offsetting my DPS. That's fucking sad, dude. Like, I'm gonna stop summoning my Divine Aura, because it clearly doesn't help, but I don't think it's gonna change much. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Here's the thing, chat. The servers are going down in 3 minutes. If I can do this for 3 more minutes, technically speaking, I will not have lost. And I think that's a dub. Thoughts? Now that being said, that's if I live. Which, you know, with a gladiator, anything can happen. Yeah, the thing is, he's blocking me, actually. Like, he's just straight up blocking my dots. That is the problem here. I mean, I'll give it that. Bro is insisting on this, you know? He's not giving up. Ooh, actually... He interrupted the animation of my Light of Regen. Is that a... well, that could be problematic. Yeah. My Defiance is back. It's a final countdown. Yeah, there's 2 minutes left, chat. 2 more minutes, and it's gonna be a draw. Yeah, I see Asylon pinging me on Discord. Your brother. Can we talk about this? Can we have like a healthy discussion between adults, you know? Yeah. 1 more minute, chat. Life leech nerf on the 22nd for sure. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That is one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. Because it's a little bit silly. He broke the animation of my light up regen again. 10 seconds until maintenance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. GG's. Alright, we'll call it a draw. Honestly, I got pretty close, chat. I think I won that one. What do we think? Alright. I'm gonna be hosting Assalon, guys. We're gonna be doing, for the people again who don't know, we're gonna be doing a talk show discussing about the state of the game, so on and so forth. So I would appreciate if you guys show up. And I'll be seeing you there. Again. But before we go, make sure to follow the channel on both Twitch and YouTube, if you haven't already. Make sure to join the Discord to be made aware of my whereabouts. And I'll see you in just a second. Let's see. And for the people over to YouTube, you'll be able to find the link to the podcast on my Discord. So make sure to check it out.